Okay, so we got uh one pendulum lab out of the way. We've got it finished. It's in the bag. Does the distance it swing affect how many times it swings in a minute? And the answer is no, not really. Okay. Uh, so that one was the one that was kind of complicated because you had to first get a pendulum and figure out how you were going to attach it and things like that. This next one, what we're going to test is going to be, does the length of the string affect it? Okay. Remember, if it's the length of the string, is the variable you want to test. You want the other variables to stay the same. They got to be controlled variables. That means don't change the bob. Don't change the mass that's hanging on there. And you want to also make sure, when we were in school, I'd have protractors and it'd say a 30-degree angle, right? And we'd always have that as a controlled variable. Since we've already determined that it doesn't really have an impact, I'm going to just tell you, try to have a good, easy swing, okay? Pick an angle and be consistent using the same angle. Since you might not have a protractor at home, not going to make sure, okay, measure to exactly that number of angles. And if the length is different, then the distance would end up kind of being different too. You can kind of see how if you extend this, then it is. So anyway, just use a nice, easy, light swing, right? And try to be consistent how, what angle it swings at each time, okay? But what you are going to be changing is the length of the string. Now, how much instruction do you need about how to change the length of the string? Really? You can figure it out. Use the lab write-up to tell you what the lengths are you're going to do. You got to use the correct lengths. It's on the lab write-up. I'm not even going to tell you here. I'm going to say follow the instructions on the lab write-up. If you aren't doing that, you know. Okay, second, uh, something that is really important when you're measuring the length of the string. Now, as a physical system, it isn't really just the string. I mentioned this already before. It's not just the string you're measuring, you're also measuring part of the bob. It's got to go to the middle of the center of mass. Actually, that's an interesting concept. The center of mass is technically where the point is, that the end of the pendulum is. So measure it to where it's halfway, right? Where you're measuring it to the middle. Don't be measuring it to here. Oh, that's where it is. Or measuring it to here at the bottom. No, that's where it is. Nope, it's the middle. Okay? That's a pretty important concept. So make sure you do that. Other than that, when you get the longer one, maybe you're not going to be able to hang it on the same place you've been hanging it because that would be too long. Find a place that'll fit. Use a door jamb or something like your closet door, inside a closet or under a cabinet might work. We'll see if it's depending on if it's too close to the ground. Okay, so follow the instructions, do the lab. Pendulum lab number 2. Does the length of the string affect how many times it swings in a minute? Go do it and have fun.